Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow. Morning.
Hey, morning.
Why are you laughing? How's it going, man?
I'm good.
What time
Trying to
is it?
stay awake. Do you think that sounds right?
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe making the last snare either longer, like just compress it or whatever to fill out the whole space of the fourth bar, just a single, the last snare, or maybe make it a double, a doom doom, with a tom, like snare and a tom combination. But maybe that might be too much.
So basically, just like fill more space. Let me see. I had another part of a fill there too, but I took it out. I'm just gonna see how it sounds to put it there. I feel like that sounded better.
Does leave that gap, right?
Yeah, it sounded more natural there. Should I use that fill in the second build up too, or use a different one?
For the fills and the pre-drop fills, sometimes I think that it's good to have both them the same. So it kind of like it you know something already, but on the other hand, you could also say like if you want to have a variation and make it different, the whole second build-up is different. Maybe at bar 47 it should be maybe only half the tempo in the first one. Or maybe you could even do triplets. Doom, 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 do, 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 do. Just to lead to the fill. That's
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I see what you I think it sounded good.
I mean, at least this kind of groove leads to the groove of the fill.
It does. It's it's like better going into it. I'm gonna copy that to the other.
And then I think you have to adjust the kick as well because I heard something.
Oh yeah. So I gotta make the is the kick in there? Let me remember.
But there's
Yeah.
something.
So make the kick triplet as well.
The kick going triplet.
Yes. Yeah, I like it a lot better. I'm gonna make the other build up like that too. And we're gonna make the second build up like bigger, right?
Maybe take this as the homework. Maybe we can go to the drop and see about the bass line. Bass line, bass line, bass.
That's how it sounded before, and then I can use this. So you're saying like it should like stick out more?
Yeah, I mean, I would make it more hearable throughout the mix. You know, you should really hear it, and I would look for frequencies which are useful. Let's say I would start around 300 to 500 hertz. I mean, we're being careful, of course, but maybe boosting around that area, and maybe boosting between 1 and 2K, 3K. It depends on the mix, you know. Like I would always listen to it in the context of the rest and see, especially with the lead sounds.
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe it's also at 2K, 2.5K, 3K where we need to boost. I mean, you can try it out and let's give it a real boost so we can actually hear what happens and then.
I feel like I could hear it more now.
Can you go back and forth, like bypass it just for while it's playing and then go back so we can actually hear what happens with the EQ?
Okay, yeah.
It's not doing a lot, right? And just a question, the EQ, is it coming before the Camel Crusher or after it? How do I have to read this slot thing?
Before.
Ah, because the Camel Crusher and everything else comes afterwards.
I could just move it. Does it sound good to you there?
Yeah, I think it sounds a little bit too muddy now. So the number 4 in the EQ, I think it doesn't really help. Yeah, we should maybe carve out a little bit of the frequency spectrum there. And instead of that, we cut it here and then we boost, let's say number 6 and number 2. Do you need the low end in this track, or do you have a separate sub bass?
Yeah, this one has the low end, but I could separate it.
I would separate those so you can distort, saturate, or whatever, like the higher bass track without just affecting the sub. We might need that for mixing later anyway.
Yeah. So get that. Cut it around 250.
This is the sub, or is it the other one now, the high end?
This is the top end.
Top end, yeah, I would cut it like, I don't know, 200, 250.
And then I gotta low pass the other one.
Yeah, like 500 or ish. Yeah, just pull it down.
So I gotta add these
Yeah.
to the other one, or
I mean, it depends. I think I would leave that up to mixing process, what we're gonna do with the sub, if we need the Camel Crusher or whatever, or like.
because it already had the Camel Crusher. So should I add the Camel Crusher to the top layer now?
Yeah, for now I would keep it the same, and we definitely need some saturation in the top.
Oh, that's why it sounded weird. I forgot about the LFO. This one's Stargate too, and the Sidechain.
Cool. I'm not sure about the sidechain, if it's a little bit too strong, but maybe we can do that later. If it's like, if you should have it a little bit more like, not that, more like a little bit less pumping, could be an option.
Yeah, I have a couple of other like presets that I usually use that I've saved.
I would say now that you have the two of them, make sure the sub is clean, and only gives you the low end. And then you can work on the top end and maybe try to find something that really you think works together with the rest and doesn't clog like the 300 to 500 hertz frequency range. And we can, fine tune it later.
Okay.
And if you don't get along with that, if you really don't like what you're getting, try to add another bass line sound, a mid bass. You have Spire now? Do you have it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like cool presets for that kind of sound if you use the duration algorithm and the talkbox sound. Like it's very midish, and that adds a lot of like color to the bass sound. If you think it's too much of a struggle to get this one, the existing one right, just add another one and mix it in slightly, and then you can add even another dimension to the sound and without destroying the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, if you want to work on the other stuff, we are working on a vocal, by the way. I started the process last week. We're talking to Vocal Kitchen, and they're giving us a bunch of their writers to write top lines for the tracks we're having, and they will send us demos.
All right, cool. I'll do that for sure.
Anyway, hey man, it was a good session. Nice to talk to you again, and have a good rest of the night. Are you going to bed now, or are you gonna work?
I'm going to bed. I mean, I'm gonna work on this a little bit more and then go to bed.
Okay, man. Okay, have a good one.
Bye.
Speak soon. Cheers, man. Bye.